The Alpha Sessions.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Alpha Sessions. I'm Lucy Wroe and today we have Amber Saqladi.
Hi
welcome
everyone.
To the show. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, thank you for asking. How are you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'm excited about our session. You played 3 really nice songs for us today.
Thank you.
And we're excited to have you on because we've never had you on the show before.
Yeah.
So, but this is not your first radio experience. You've had other radio interviews and stuff. How much radio have you been getting into?
So the first time that I was on radio, it was actually with a lovely local station to me up in Leicester. It was Harbour FM. I've been on with them a couple of times since I was 17 and that was lovely. They've really always been very supportive of me and that was, you know, a really nice experience to have when I was so young, having experience being interviewed and feeling important in that way. And then I was lucky last year when my most recent single came out to be interviewed on BBC in the East Midlands by Dean Jackson. Nice. That was incredible. We actually premiered my track, Siren Song, in that interview, so that was a lot of fun. That was an experience that I was really grateful for.
Yeah, radio, I think it's a lost art form now. We need
Definitely.
to be doing more of it, so we're happy to have you on.
Thank
to
you.
expand our community more than anything. It's community, isn't it? So you're actually not from London.
No.
Tell us a bit more about where you grew up and how that's kind of brought you here, your journey from there to London.
So I grew up in Leicestershire, kind of in the country, a little village called Narborough. Shout
out to Narborough.
Yeah, when I go back to visit, it couldn't feel more far away from London. Even the air is nice. But I grew up and I'd always loved music. Nature was a big part of my upbringing. The countryside and appreciating everything that had to offer it really shaped who I am and my artistry. I started writing poems and stuff when I was really little and loved music. And throughout kind of my time in GCSE and A-level, started to realise that music was the thing I really wanted to do. And obviously I'm very much of the understanding that if you want to do that in this country, you have to go to London. And so I enrolled in university. I'm studying currently songwriting at ACM. It took me to Birmingham first, but you know, I couldn't resist that London pull. I had to come down, and I've been here for about 8 months now.
Oh wow, okay, so not too long. It's still a little bit fresh.
Yeah,
but getting into it.
I'm still a fresh Londoner.
Yeah, how are you finding it in terms of it's very different to lot of places, even other cities. It feels like it's kind of quite different.
Yeah.
But what's it been like so far?
I've loved it. I really have. I think it's amazing. There's, you can never get bored. I'm very much an all or nothing person. I need to be in the biggest available city possible or live in a tree in off grid. So London was ticking one of those boxes. I really enjoy it. Like, I've met so many wonderful people, had so many nice experiences, and I think because there's so much, you can't get too much of one thing. Like, there's so many different areas to go to, so many, there is nature, like with Richmond and different places like that, so I'm kind of happy in that sense as well. I just think it's a great place for someone young and musical like me to be, and to find other people that I fit in with, because that's something that I used to struggle with up in Narborough, and so it's nice to be in such a big pool finding people that I really fit with.
Yeah, a lot of people I think find that quite intimidating when you move to somewhere that there are so many people. Like, to be a small fish suddenly in this massive pond. Yeah, but it does seem like you kind of miss the point if you feel that way, because there's so much opportunity as well.
I find it really comforting. I find it really comforting to be in such a big place with so many people, because I know that if there's 10 million people in London, then I can find my 10, and if there's millions of opportunities, I'm going to find my one. If there's millions of people, I'm going to find my person, I think it's exciting rather than being daunting. I think, it really opens you up to everything the world can be, and it's really fun.
So as an artist with your own music, did you start releasing when you came to London, or did you release before you came here and it was sort of figuring things out? Whereabouts are we in the journey of releasing your originals?
So I've always written music. I started off writing poems when I was like a tiny baby fetus. And I think I wrote my first song when I was 7. I never started taking it seriously, really, because I was a very academic kid. Always, it was more for me about the grades. I wanted to kind of do chemistry at uni and do various like important things as an important person. But when COVID hit, I kind of realized that I wanted, you know, I loved music, and I'd been singing in bars and stuff from the age of 15. I don't know why. I just did. That was a really random thing to start doing. But I realised, you know, this is what I love, and if I don't give it a proper shot, then I will regret it for the rest of my life. And I was lucky enough to be reached out to by the guy that would produce my first 3 singles, Teo B. He's a producer with HQ Recording, for a kind of arts council project that was taking place during COVID to keep songwriting happening. They heard Summer Rain and they really liked it, and they offered me to kind of collaborate with them on the track, and we released it. And that was before I came to London. That was still while I was in Leicester, because they're up there, and that was incredible. I did those 3 songs whilst I was up there, and then have moved down kind of 8 months ago, and I've kind of had a bit of a non-releasing period, because those 3 songs were very experimental to me. I was figuring out what I wanted to do and what kind of artist I wanted to be, and now I feel I'm getting there, so I'm excited for what's to come.
It does feel like, I guess, when you have one of those opportunities, someone reaches out to you, do you feel like everything sort of opens up and you realise you can do it? It sort of validates everything that you wanted. 100%.
I was a very, because I just turned 18 when they reached out to me, and I'd had quite a tumultuous few years. And I wasn't really in a place where I felt able to go out and achieve things on my own. I was quite self-conscious, and I really wasn't holding very much space for myself and believing in myself in any way. So being reached out to like that by somebody that already does what you want to do is incredible. It's so validating. I definitely wouldn't be doing what I am right now without Teo and without HQ. It was really lovely for them to kind of think of me, especially because I'm not the kind of artist they usually work with. So it felt really personal, and it felt really inspiring and encouraging.
So with that experience of working with a label and people who, it's like having a team around you, I guess.
Yeah.
Would you like that environment for yourself, or do you sort of feel a pull towards independent creation and releasing?
Because I've not done any kind of completely independent releases, because I've been releasing through HQ, like in a collaborative kind of way. So I am excited to experiment with releasing independently. I'm very much a hands-on person. I like to be in control of what I'm doing. So to release independently, and I love storytelling, so the marketing of that and controlling all of that myself, I think that would be a lot of fun. From what I've kind of found out through my degree and just through being in the industry, I really like the look of a lot of independent labels. I think they're really nice communities, and that's quite similar to HQ. It was a nice kind of family feel, and it makes you more passionate about the music itself if you feel you have people around you that really love you and really support what you're doing. And I think that kind of culture is more prevalent in independent labels.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, I'm open to absolutely anything that I think can get me where I want to go. Yeah, I'd love to work with labels, love to be independent. I want to do it all at some point.
Because you never know, I guess you never know. But
Absolutely.
people do buy into that storytelling. I think when you've got that, people recognise it, especially independent communities.
Yeah.
And that's something I picked up as well when you played the first song, Liquor. It has got that country feel, but it's, I don't know, it's sort of a bit anthemic in the storytelling way.
Thank you.
Where has that one come from? It's unreleased.
Yeah, so I'm so excited to be talking about Liquor, because it's been in the works for so long. So when I was applying to university, my uni ACM, they have a partnership with Metropolis Studios. Yeah. And I was at an open day at Metropolis, and I took my little USB with my songs on, and I was like, I'm gonna make someone listen to it. But I was so nervous, like I couldn't speak to people. I couldn't be sat here speaking with you like this at that point in my life. I had to have my boyfriend come down with me and basically like stop me from leaving all day because I was too nervous. And so I was kind of like, "Hey, will someone listen to my songs?" And they were all kind of passing me off to each other, like, "Oh, he will listen to you." And eventually, who would become my producer that I'm working with now, and my mentor Marwan, he actually, after about 7 hours of me being there, he agreed to listen, and he was like, "This is actually good." And I was like, "Did you not think it would be?" And he was like, "No." He was like, you don't believe in yourself. He was like, I didn't think you'd be very good. And I was like, oh. And that really opened my eyes to the growth that I would need to undertake to be able to succeed in the industry. And so after that, we kind of kept in touch. And he was like, "I really love what you did. I'd love to have you work with me here at Metropolis." And I was like, oh. I literally like died. And the whole night before the session, I didn't sleep, I didn't eat, I went down, I thought, I'm going to actually do the most terrible songwriting I've ever done in my life. I'd never even had like a collaborative writing session before, and I was going to be going and writing with a multi-platinum selling producer, and I was like, oh. I went and I wrote the best song ever. We wrote Liquor, and that was definitely to date the best song I'd ever written. And I was over the moon. I was so proud of myself, and that was really the first step in the direction that I'm now heading in, and it's always going to be such a special song to me. It's going to be the lead single in my upcoming debut EP that we've been working really hard on during my time at university. And yeah, it was the first song that really consolidated what I wanted to be as an artist, what message I wanted to portray.
I've been down this road before. You know my body like it's yours. I never thought that I would spend my sunsets looking in your eyes. This type of incandescent love wouldn't suit anyone but us. I tailored my soul for yours, and you wear it like it was made of gold. I live the lies, open my eyes now. I'm blind to all except for you. You're the liquor on my tongue as I'm coming undone. This kind of love is a war that ain't won, but it's keeping me strong and warms me up when I'm alone. You're the liquor in my blood. It's hard to trust this game of love or lust, but we can't stop. So tell me I'm the one that warms you up when you're alone. You're the liquor for my soul. This time I know how it'll be. You'll grow your garden around me. We'll walk through autumn leaves, now truly knowing what it means to fall. I live the lies, open my eyes. Now I'm blind to all except for you. You're the liquor on my tongue as I'm coming undone. This kind of love is a war that ain't won, but it's keeping me strong and warms me up when I'm alone. You're the liquor in my blood. It's hard to trust this game of love or lust. We can't stop, so tell me I'm the one that warms you up when you're alone. the liquor in my blood. It's hard to trust this game of love or lust, but we can't stop. So tell me I'm the one that warms you up when you're alone. You're the liquor for my soul.
The Alpha Sessions.
You say your debut EP is coming early next year.
Yeah, we've got because we've got that song. It's going to be. Oh, I don't know how much to say about it. I don't know what to keep to my chest.
Tell us everything.
But there's going to be quite a few songs on it, and some of them are still they're not fully produced yet. But Liquor's pretty much there now, and it's everything I wanted it to be. And I'm so grateful to Marwan and to Patrick, my co-producer, for helping me out with it. It's been the most fun thing ever. I've absolutely loved it. So yeah, that's kind of in the works for perhaps the lead single coming out in February, I'm hoping, because it's very much a kind of like springtime EP. When I see it in my head, it looks like springtime and sunsets and like things and nature. So yeah. I think that kind of fits really well with the theme of everything.
Do you get visual ideas often? So when you're writing something, you immediately start to picture everything around it and the whole thing as a project?
100%. Like I don't have a stage name, but Amber Saqladi the person and Amber Saqladi the artist are two very different people to me. Like when I was, like figuring out how to be a professional music industry person and actually speak to people, I really had to step into that and be like, okay, this is a whole other person. And then since then I've kind of expanded on that into this is a whole world. Like my music is a world and I know what it looks like. It's a like naturey place that's constantly at sunset. It's warm. It's and so all the music that I write, I do try to shape to that imagery. And then like for my music videos that I have done in the past, I knew exactly what I wanted them to be literally before I'd even had the song produced, because I could hear it in my head already how I wanted it to sound, and I could see in my head how I wanted it to look. So like to me, my music it's a world, and I'm always able to see that in my head, and I'm really I'm excited with this project that I'm kind of bringing out next year, because it's a bigger thing, so I can properly bring the whole world of Amber Saqladi into
life.
So yeah, I'm so excited about that. And me and my photographer, who is also my very nice boyfriend.
Oh, now that is handy. Come on.
It is. My videographer and photographer boyfriend. We've been working really hard on the visuals and curating everything perfectly, and so he's probably a bit tired of me at this point. But he's still here, which is nice.
No, he's playing the long game. That's how you see it, is that this stuff you're creating now, one day is going to be in front of millions, and his name will be on that.
Oh, 100%.
So, yeah, he's investing in your career just as much as you are. Talking of music videos, actually, I had made a note of Save Yourself, which is the second track you made, and that has the red sort of thing with the microphone in it.
Does.
And I think that's a really nice concept.
Thank you.
How was that song created? Was that the same? Like you had the visual thing, you were writing it?
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's actually a little bit different, that one, because Save Yourself was actually the first song I ever wrote as a 15-year-old. I like when I was writing at that time, well, it's the first professional song I ever wrote, but when I was writing at that time, I never thought that I was going to actually go and do something with it. So that one, I wrote it when I was 15 on a family holiday in Anglesey, and I locked myself in my room in full teenage angst. And then the music video, I knew I wanted to release it after we'd done Summer Rain, because it was such an important part of my journey. The music video for that came a little bit later, actually. It came when we were producing it. I was like, oh, okay, this is giving Americana, red, it's giving anger, I don't know. And so that came about a little bit later, actually. But the other two, Summer Rain and then Siren Song, they were all like all of the senses kind of all came together at the same time, because they were a little bit later when I wrote them.
Yeah, I feel there is an influence of that kind of anger, and there are a lot of feelings going on in here.
Oh yeah,
but a lot of angst and a lot of just silent rage, I would say, that just comes into it. It sort of bubbles under the surface. Does that come from maybe your influences, or is it to do with what you want your music to present as? We talked a little bit about activism or using your music as a vehicle for supporting women. Yeah,
like that's the main thing, not only as an artist, but for me as a person. The main thing that I want to do is empower young women. As a young woman that used to be very, very deeply disempowered, I understand how easy it is for young women in such a patriarchal society to lose their sense of self and really, really get lost and, you know, feel completely alone and powerless. And that's one of the most sad things ever. I think young women are incredible, and I want them all to know that, and I want no one to ever be able to take that away from them. It's important to me to empower our next generation of young women and to make them feel to love themselves in spite of their mistakes, because I think it's very easy for people to be perfectionistic and to kind of get lost in things that they've done wrong. To love themselves in spite of their mistakes, feel stronger and safer in who they are, and, you know, happy, like kind of embrace their vulnerabilities a lot. And that's what I want all of my music to do, whether it's happy, sad. I just want people to know they're not alone in these feelings that they have, and that it's not wrong to feel certain ways. It's all part of the journey. And yeah, my teenage years really shaped that. And, you know, coming into adulthood, I have a new sense of rage of things that happened to me when I was a teenager. And so a lot of that will be spoken about on my EP, which I cannot wait to talk about. So yeah, it's kind of a simmering rage that's always there, because that's how I kind of feel. Like always at least 1% of me is kind of really angry.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I
feel like as an eldest daughter, that's just how it is. If anyone has any kind of tips on how to get rid of that, let me know.
Well, writing music, putting it into music, it's such a good way.
It's I write a good angry song and I feel a lot better for about 3 working days.
And then the next one has to come along. Yeah.
There's this cry that you made. My poor heart couldn't stay away. Yeah, I did my best, baby, to keep you sane. You played it good, I'll give it to you. Who would've known I was a piece in your little narcissist game? But I'm not trying to claim that I know love is but manipulation, intoxication, overanalyzing conversation. Sure don't feel like home. I'm not a hero, no, that ain't love, oh no. I carried you through the black, fought for you through your blues. Now I know that the only one that can save you is you. Control the cards far too long for my liking, so save yourself. There's this song that you made. It had my name on. A cry for help if you ever heard one, but it's enough for me. There's this dark in your veins, oh yeah. And I'm done hurting myself by trying to drain it away. And yeah, I know that I don't know what love is, but manipulation, intoxication, overanalyzing conversation. Sure don't feel like home. You through the black, fought for you through your blues. Now I know that the only one that can save you is you. Control the cards for too long, so save yourself, oh yeah. I guess I thought you were mine. Oh, I was such a fool. There's only room in your heart for the darkness that rules you. Oh no, 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 that ain't love. Ooh, and I know exactly what you're doing. You play until you're not the one who's broken. No, 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 that ain't love. And you threw your heart at me so fast. Now, did you think I'd ever catch that? Oh no, 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 that ain't love. And I hate to cut this short, but I'm a little bored of the sleepless nights and twisted fights and the rivers rolling from my red eyes. So I'm gonna play my escape card. Baby, save yourself.
The Alpha Sessions.
There's a lot of really great women up at the front of the music industry, but on the other side of things there was the Misogyny in Music report that came out, and all of this is such a dichotomy of like what's going on.
You know what, I was talking about this the other day, like, because this week it was declared, you know, violence against women and girls was declared a national emergency by the police, and that's I don't know.
It's a big topic. It's a big topic.
It's a lot. In my opinion, like, I've been seeing it getting worse for a while. Other people use phrases like louder, more in the limelight, but I do think it's getting worse. And I think it's because women are starting to demand spaces, as they should, just as everyone else does. And I think that's receiving a bit of pushback by certain people that don't like to see women demanding spaces in the same way. And that's why I think it's getting worse. And I think, you know, it needs to be dealt with quickly, because it's kind of exponential at the moment, which is really sad. And that's why I think the incredible women at the forefront of the industry at the moment are so important. And, you know, I was really lucky last year to open for Paris Paloma on her tour. Her song Laver and everything that she's doing for women is just incredible. Like, she's a massive person that I really respect. Maisie Peters with her song History of Man, I absolutely love that. And, you know, like Taylor Swift, Lana Del Rey, and, you know, Chapel Roan, and all the women that are absolutely trailblazing at the minute. I just couldn't be more happy to see it. It's wonderful. And so it feels like a really exciting time to be properly stepping into the industry and joining in with all of those voices with the same message. Yeah.
Do you think there'll be a moment that is a breakthrough? There'll be like a pinnacle where so many women are getting to that point that this pushback stops happening, because it will be eventually, hopefully, even. Do you see that point in the future with the music industry in particular?
Yeah, I hope so. I never really... I don't like to predict with things like that, because I don't want to be disappointed. Because I'm also a very feeling person. So when bad things happen, or, you know, when we figure out just how sad it is sometimes in, you know, in the world, and particularly as a woman, I feel into that a lot. And so I try not to get a bit carried away. But I do hope so. I think there are like so many more and more women each day, and like other people that are kind of allies in the whole thing are really pushing for this. And so I would like to say that it will just reach a breaking point where it has to happen. Everyone has to be equal, and there have to be equal opportunities in all aspects, in all aspects of the word, emotionally, physically, like professionally.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, you being in the industry and making a point of that and using your music to empower women like that is going to make a difference. And even though on a certain level, if you're not a megastar, sometimes I think people think that you're not going to be able to make a difference. But the more people on all the different levels who just do a little bit, it makes so much difference.
Definitely. And because like the main thing that I try to empower people in is their personal kind of sense of being. Because I think, you know, if women are all so aware of their self-worth and so kind of in love with themselves enough to never take less than what they know they deserve, then there's no, because you can't control what other people do, and that's a lesson that I've unfortunately had to learn. Like, people are going to do what they want a lot of the time. You can't educate some people, you can't talk to them, you're not going to change their mind. It's so frustrating, but that's just how it is. But as long as you are kind of immovable in your sense of power, I think as many women that can get to that place as possible. It's such a hard journey, but when we're all there, I think it's just kind of formidable. That's kind of feminine power.
Yeah. And I think also the more women that write together, because there are a lot of spaces now, networking groups and writing rooms that are really led by a group of women.
Yes.
And some great music is coming out of that.
Definitely. Like, actually, I was really lucky yesterday to be at a Cat's Mother event at Universal Music Group. That was amazing. And I've been to a few of their events, and there's a few spaces like that I'm kind of a part of, in London particularly. And it was such a wonderful event, and it's so wholesome, and it's one of the places that I've made a lot of my friends. So it's really lovely to be there, and kind of it makes it feel more powerful when there's so many women that all feel the same way, and, you know, kind of are holding space for each other. It's lovely. I really enjoyed that. Yeah. And they're all so talented.
True. Yeah, and writing with so many different people is always going to open things up and change your music in a way. And just being around people like that and being part of communities always seems to, it's inspirational, if anything. Even if you're writing on your own, you come up with new music that you might not have done before if you're in that environment. So your final song you played for us was Broken Glass.
Broken Glass, yeah.
Tell me all about that one. What were the origins of that? And it's unreleased again.
Yeah, so that's another one that will be on the EP. That is my favourite song that I have written to date. It means the absolute world to me, that song. It's kind of random. Like, it's about a lot of things. I feel like this is a diary entry song kind of style of thing. When I first started writing it, I wrote the pre-chorus and the chorus together in kind of one go. I was sat at my boyfriend's house just on the sofa, and just all of a sudden my like eyes glazed over, and I was like and I like ran upstairs, got my guitar and wrote that bit, and I was like, Joe, I've literally written the best thing ever in the world. I was like, yeah. But the song, it's about kind of how the world is very, very difficult to navigate. It's a kind of, it can be an isolating and sharp place, particularly for people that have experienced mental health problems. It can feel like your world is more prickly than other people's, and you feel a bit stupid. Like, you kind of feel like, why is this so hard for me? Everyone else is just doing this and that, and I just feel insane. And so it can kind of feel like your world is made of broken glass, because you're having to maneuver in a different way to everyone else and be so much more careful not to hurt yourself. And like being self-aware of the things that are going to hurt you. Like, I'm a very like critical, like analytic person. I'm like, okay, well, this is going to upset, but like, and it's so weird being so self-aware of the things that are going to trigger you. Like, because I've had, I was diagnosed with PTSD about 4 years ago, and so maneuvering the world with that really did feel like my world was made of broken glass. But it's also about how when you have that one person that you love unconditionally and that loves you back in the same way, it kind of takes away the sharpness of that a little bit, so you just feel you can dance through the world of broken glass. And so that's about my boyfriend.
It sounds like it's a lot more than just him.
Yeah, and it's also about the fact that, because he was really integral to my healing journey at the start when I wasn't able to do it for myself. Yeah. I wanted to heal because I wanted him to not have to watch me go through things. And so, like, and I think that's one of the things that I talk about on the EP. It's like, healing for any reason is good. Because a lot of people say, you've got to love yourself enough to heal. A lot of people don't. Like, if they're in such a sad place, they can't love themselves enough to heal. So any reason that you get out of bed in the morning, any reason that you have for getting in the shower, for cleaning your teeth, for literally living through to the next second is good enough reason. The self-love often comes later, and then you can do it from that. And it's a bit like that, like in the bridge when it goes, is that so bad? It's kind of like, is it so bad that you're the reason that I'm actually doing this, you know? Yeah, so it kind of talks about the reasons that I felt in that way, kind of particularly in the first verse and the verses. And it talks about the reasons that I was healing and being like, is that such a bad thing? But yep, that's my vice. Yeah. Love.
Well, that's a great sentiment to end on. I feel that's wholesome. It's a journey. We've been on a journey. All of us today have been on a nice little journey.
I kind of rambled.
But we've loved having you on the show and we've loved your music. So we hope you come back again.
Definitely.
And
thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Thank you for coming up. If anyone wants to find you on social media and anywhere else in the world, what should they search?
So my name is Amber Saqladi and you can find me on all platforms so it's Amber and then Saqladi, which is Saqladi. So that's AMBER SAQLADI. But if you type in Amber SAQ, I'm the only thing. I'm the only thing ever.
You're the one. Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Playing 16 since I was 3. And when I finally got there and looked around, I sure as hell didn't know what that means. I played my best with the cards I was dealt and was taught to give the prizes to everyone else. Mistook my grown body for a grown mind. They made me pay the price for it. So now I will sing with my hands by my head real high. I wanna hang with my friends, but the smell of weed makes me cry. If all else that shines in my shattered life lies, I don't mind tonight. Because you became the one I'd run to at the end of the world, with unspoken words that they don't understand. And through all of it, you could be the one I need to never lose. So take my hand, baby, can we dance through this world of broken glass? It turns out if you're the best in class, you need to be the best at everything. Like raking in lovers, causing all your own problems and tearing apart at the seams. But you kissed me down old country roads at midnight, and the stars teach my heart how to come back to life. If all else that shines in my shattered life lies, I don't mind tonight. No, I don't mind tonight, because you became the one I'd run to at the end of the world, with unspoken words that they don't understand. And through all of it, you could be the one I need to never lose. So take my hand, baby, can we dance through this world of broken glass? You bring me back from broken glass. Is that so bad? So bad? Because you became the one I'd run to at the end of the world, with unspoken words that they don't understand. And through all of it, you could be the one I need to never lose. So take